Blessed love my Lord and Empress. At this time, I continue reading from Deuteronomy chapter 28. And this is one of my favorite books, And when I greet in the name of our Father, the Black Christ, Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. And this book tells you, that this was after I made it to the promised land, after Israel come out of Egypt. And I wasn't keeping the commandments, and I end up coming back in Egypt again, in ships, And this book tells us that, to show you that we are the children of Israel from the Bible, because we are the only people that was brought into Egypt, which is slavery, in ships, and this is spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Here where we live in Babylon, the Western world, because the spirit of these places is alive and well in this place, So, and I give thanks, for these books and continue reading Deuteronomy chapter 28, to the house of Israel, I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, by blood, not by religious assumption. I know is Israel descendants by blood, and this book prove it, So, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and do all his commandments which I command thee this day, and the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. You see, so this book, Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. So when I say it's a people above all organization, and a people above all people, and I'm not just making up and saying these things. In the Bible tell you of these things, that I keep the commandments, upon earth is that people, and repeat. And it says, it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord, to observe, to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all his blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Blessed shall thou be in the city, blessed shall thou be in the field. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy ground, fruit of thy cattle and increase of thy kind of flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. Blessed shall thou be when thou come in, blessed shall thou be when thou goest out. The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways. The Lord shall command blessing upon thee in thy storehouse, in all that thou set thy hand unto. And he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. King Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. So the man says, once you keep the 10 commandments and all his commandments and keep the Sabbath day, and everything you do will be blessed. Everything what you touch will be blessed. And if anyone rise up against you, they will run 7 ways, and you will never be overcome. So the greatest blessings possible, shall overtake you once you keep the commandments and keep the Sabbath day. The Lord shall establish thee and holy people unto himself, as he have sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God, and walk in his ways. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. And he say, him will give us a land, and we shall be blessed in that land, once I keep the commandments, And I is a holy people unto him, because we keep the commandments, And I is the only one who is called by the name of our God, Because in Revelation it shows that God come in a new name. And New Jerusalem come from heaven, and him right upon us. His new name, so is called Rastafari, after our Father, the Almighty Emperor Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. You see, so I'm sure it's right upon us his name, you know. And I also is called Bobo Shanti. Because Micah 4 also show you that, you know, our Father, the Black Christ, come down here in the ends of the earth, in the western world, and establish, you know, his kingdom, you know, on top of the hill, you know. And it shall be exalted above all hills, you know, which right now Beverly Hill are the most exalted hill, but Bobo Hill, you know, shall be exalted above Beverly Hill, you know, and right upon us the city of our God, which is Bobo Shanti. And so all these prophecies fulfilled, in the Bible. You just have to check it, with, childlike eyes, and you will see that the Bible is a reality. So Christ come here in the western world, just like what it said. In the last days Christ shall come in the western world, in the ends of the earth. Him and John in the island of Patmos, which is Jamaica, fulfilling in this time. Together is 144,000 elect saints. Marcus said, look to the east for the crowning of a king, and we see that in Revelation 19. So all these things fulfilling now, plain view. In reality, the Bible is real. Once says somebody wrong, but not the Bible. That's all I know. So the Most High King, Selassie Jah, Rastafari, right? And the earth shall see and be afraid, of fire and I when they see all these things, And it said, and the Lord shall make thee plenteous in goods, and the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy cattle, fruit of thy ground, the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers to give thee. If you sure say, we have a land for inherit, The Lord shall open unto thee good treasure, the heaven, to give rain unto thy lands in his season, and to bless all the work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend to many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. You see, whether you're rich or whether you're poor, you see, whether you have a lot or you have a little, once you keep the commandments, I and I shall lend and not borrow. And all these things go for I and I, And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail. And thou shalt be above and not beneath only, and thou shalt not be beneath. And if thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them, and thou shalt not go aside from any words which I command thee this day, to the right or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. Holy Emmanuel, I Selassie Jah, Rastafari. And when you check history, all who keep the commandments, including the Sabbath day, from Noah time, from the Garden of Eden come up, they'd always come out on top, because Noah was a Sabbath keeper. The whole evil world got drowned off in the flood, and Noah was the only one standing. You see it, so when you keep the commandments, you have all the power. You see it, Moses kept the commandments, delivered Israel out of Egypt, drowned off Pharaoh in the Red Sea, and all his hosts. You see, the Sabbath keeper. You see, once you keep the Sabbath, is you have the power. The rest of the world out there, they have faith, but they don't have no works to show with this faith. Those who keep the Sabbath throughout history have works and great works to show with this faith. Christ kept the Sabbath. Him heal the sick. Him raise the dead. Cast out all demons. Him rise from the dead. And do all these great things. Israel kept the commandments. They never lost a battle except one. And then they came and won again after. You see? So once you keep the commandments, you're ever blessed, you're ever sanctified, you get the highest blessing. This is the greatest blessing. This is the greatest quality of life and standard of living, is to keep the commandments and to keep the Sabbath day holy. Set the Most High, Holy Emmanuel, I Selassie Jah. Rastafari, Bible says, blessed are they that keep the commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and enter into the city. You see? So, all who keep the commandments ever blessed, ever sanctified. You see? Most High, Selassie Jah, Rastafari. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shall thou be in the city, cursed shall thou be in the field. You see, some say the biggest city out there curse because them not keep the commandments, them not keep the Sabbath. The whole world curse. So this explains what's going on in the world and the reason why they are going on, and all the plagues upon earth and all the bad, because they are not keeping the Sabbath day. Said the Most High, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. The book speaks for itself. Curse shall be the basket and thy store. Curse shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, the flocks of thy sheep. Curse shall thou be when thou come in. Curse shall thou be when thou go out. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, in order that thou set thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until he has consumed thee from off the land, where thou go to possess it. And the Lord shall smite thee with consumption, fever, with inflammation. All these things going on in the world right now. You see? And with extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, with mildew. And they shall pursue thee until thou perish. And the heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. And the Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. And from heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and shall flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And thy carcass shall be meat unto the fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. The Lord shall smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with hemorrhoids, and with the scab, and with itch, whereof thou cannot be healed. You see, so all these things going on in the world right now, because people are keeping the Sabbath day and the 10 commandments. You see it, and him say, all that who don't keep the commandments, they shall, get cut off, out of earth, them soul, who don't keep the Sabbath, So eventually, it no lead to nothing good. And so the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart, and thou shalt grow up on noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only a person spoiled ever, and no man shall save thee. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lay with her. Even the divorce rate right now is about 50%. It's because people not keep the commandments and not keep the Sabbath. Say, thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Thine oxen shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine heart shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Thy sons and daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eye shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. You see, so all these things, reach I and the house of Israel after we made it to the promised land. Whenever they keep the commandments. You see, so we get brought into Egypt and dispersed into the kingdoms of the world again, in ships and all these things, because we weren't keeping the commandments. But now our Father, the Black Christ, come and teach us how to keep the commandments, as was prophesied in the Bible. You see it, and I can get saved from all these curses. But now these curses going to come upon the evil world. You can see it happening right now before us, because all these things are happening to the world out there. And it said, continue reading. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eye which thou see. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sword, and bash that cannot be healed. From the sole of the foot unto the top of thy head. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. You see, so that's what happened to us. They bring us into slavery and then beat them religion, which was Christianity, into us and have us to worship pictures and images, call after names, idols, So we give thanks that we could come now and overcome the bad teaching and find the God in flesh and find the truth of the Bible. Because he that seeketh find it. You see, it's when I come and we find him, The Black Christ, we find Marcus, we find King Selassie, God in our face, The truth of the Bible. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, Because the none of God can show you, other than pictures, and wood and stone, And thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb and a byword among all nations where the Lord shall lead thee. Thou shalt carry more seed out into the field and shall gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyard and dress them, but shall neither drink the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worm shall eat them. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coasts, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with oil, for thine olive shall cast his fruits. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. You see, so all these things happen to I and I, black people, I and I, the house of Israel, because we never did keep the commandments, But we come and we find the Father now, we keep the commandments and we save from all these things. And these things now happen to the world who is not keeping the commandments of the Most High. Honor Prophet John, Marcus I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. So all the trees and the fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is within thee shall get up high, very high above thee, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearken not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments, and his statutes, which he command thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign, and for a wonder, and thy seed, and upon thy seed forever, because thou serve not the Lord thy God with joyfulness, and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. The Lord shall bring another nation against thee from far, from the ends of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor shew favour to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee neither corn, nor wine, nor oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, until thy high and fence walls come down, wherein thou trusted throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy God hath given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, and the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate among you, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, towards his wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. And the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter, and towards her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for one of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou may fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God, King Selassie Jah Rastafari. So all these curses come upon the evil world now. And you see these things happening now in the world because people don't keep the commandments and don't keep the Sabbath day, said the Most High, King Selassie Jah Rastafari. And all these plagues we see are going on in the world right now, that it is because people don't keep the commandments. So then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. You see it, and also every sickness, and every plague which is not written in this book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. So I'm sure you say every sickness and every plague that is whether written in the book or not written in the book, because people don't keep the commandments and keep the Sabbath day, the Lord bring these things. And right now you see COVID-19 and mash up the whole world out there, I'm saying, and ye shall be left few in numbers, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven from far multitude, because thou would not obey the voice of the Lord thy God. You see, the man says somebody wrong, but it's not the Bible. That's all I know. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoice over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land where thou go to possess it. You see, so even in the land, if you don't keep the commandments, you cannot possess it. You will be plucked up. You see, so you have to keep the commandments to even inherit the land that the Father promised us, and promised Abraham, and promised Isaac through freedom, redemption, black international repatriation. And our Prophet Marcus says 7, 9, 13, or 21 mile of ships, black star liner, must come in the harbor. As written in Isaiah, they shall bring the ship of Tarshish, to bring my sons and daughters, said the Most High. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie Jah Rastafari. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other God, which thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. You see, so that's what happened to us, the house of Israel. We were in the promised land in Israel after we made it home out of Egypt. We now keep the commandments, now keep the Sabbath. Babylon come in and raid. And I run from out of Israel, run through North Africa. You see, some of us stay here, some of us stay there. Some of us flew to the islands in the Caribbean, flew all over. Anywhere we could go. We run as far through all the way to Ghana, run through North Africa and stop in Ghana. Right? Children of Israel now. And then they came from there and took us down here in the western world in ships. You see? And it's because we weren't keeping the commandments, all this, and the Sabbath, why all these things happen to us. You see? And we were scattered. And now we serve. Them come teach us that Jesus is God. I see some white images and pictures. You see? And we love everyone, no matter what color, but the truth is the truth. These things is idols. They make pictures and make images and tell that it is God. When see Christ come, the Prince Emmanuel, just like the Bible tell you, after him come, a man named Emmanuel. You see? That's what the Bible says God gonna name. So we see this man named Emmanuel and we research and find out that the Bible has revealed God that the Christ has come. The real Emmanuel has come, King Selassie come and Marcus come. And I the 144,000 elect saints. Everybody is written in the Bible. You know, all who are written in there. You know, either in the great crowd, you see, who stand before the throne of God, either numbered in there, or you're numbered into those who were cast alike into the lake of fire. But all are numbered, said the Most High, Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Rastafari. And amongst these nations, thou shalt find no ease, neither shall thy soul of thy foot have rest, because you don't keep no Sabbath. They make you work 7 days a week and work 24 hours a day. You can't keep no Sabbath again, your soul not get no rest again. You see, and that's like it's a day that worship the beast have no rest. You see, they have to come and worship the black Christ, you know. Worship, you know, yourself, you know, because you couldn't see no one before you see yourself, you know. That's what Christ teaches, you know. You'd have to see God and Christ in yourself before you could see it in Prince Emmanuel or anyone else. That's what he teaches us. You know, so you have to love yourself, you know, and see yourself, you know. But all these words are true. Him said, but the Lord shall give thee their trembling heart and feeling of eyes, sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have no assurance of thy life. In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were evening, and at even thou shalt say, would God it were morning. For fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes wherewith thou shalt see. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, that thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. You see, so that's how we, the children of Israel, ended up down here in the Western world, in slavery, in Egypt, in ships, again, because we weren't keeping the commandments, and we weren't keeping the Sabbath day. But we give thanks to our Father who come, the black Christ, who come and teach us of the commandments and teach us of the Sabbath. That time I may return home, you know, to stand before the throne as prophesied, you know, in righteousness, you know, of salvation, you know, and in black supremacy, you know. Because man said, these are they who have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb, you know, 144,000 elect saints, you know, Bobo Shanti, you know, and children numberless, as son of the seashore, you know, all who choose, you know, to love, you know, Christ and to do the right, you know. I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, Sasita, Deuteronomy 28, the 68th verse. So the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. You see it, and only black people experience these things. So we know it is talking about us. You know, the children of Israel, you know, here in the Western world. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Because first them sell you to this one, and them do all kind of thing what them want to do. Then them sell you out to the car, whoever have the most money, them sell the people to, you know. Then them sell it to that one, and them do whatever them want to do. You see, right now, mark of the beast, them want to give the people, because them sell you out to that man there, name the beast. And now some rich man, he want to put him mark in a you, so him can even make some more money off of you, you know, and them plans, you know. So you have so I go on, you know. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari.